After years of days, he told patients that chemotherapy and it's the only way to try, keyword is a try, to eliminate cancer, John Hopkins said. Decided to also present the alternative way of treatment of disease. You are what you eat, so eat healthy. An amazing intuition of past generations is now confirmed by nutritional sciences. They looked like what was once called the doctrine of signatures was surprisingly very correct. Now this states that whole food has a pattern that resembles an organ from the body or with a physiological function, and that this pattern acts as a signal or as a sign, depending on the benefit that the food offers the consumer. Here is just a short list of examples of food signatures. Whole wheat. A carrot slice resembles the human eye. The pupil, the iris, and the lines. Radials look exactly like the human eye, and, yes, science now proves that carrots considerably increase the blood flow to the eyes and their function. A tomato has 4 compartments and is red. The heart is red and has 4 rooms. All studies show that tomatoes are really pure food for heart and blood. The grapes hang in heart-shaped bunches. Every grain. It looks like a blood cell, and all the research today looks like grapes. They are also a substantial revitalizing food for the heart and blood. A walnut looks like a small brain, with a right and a left hemisphere. Cerebrum above and cerebellum below. Even the wrinkles or the folds of a walnut kernel look like the neocortex. And now we know that nuts helps us develop over 3 dozen neurotransmitters that helps brain function. Beans actually heal and help maintain kidney function. Beans look exactly like human kidneys. Celery, rhubarb, and other vegetables look exactly like bones. These foods, they specifically target bone hardness. Bones are 23% sodium, and these foods have 23% sodium. If we do not have enough sodium in our diet, the body extracts it from the bones, making them brittle. These foods complete the needs of our body's skeleton. Eggplants, avocados, and pears aim for good health functioning of the woman's uterus and cervix, and it looks exactly like these organs. Today's research shows that when a woman eats an avocado on week, it balances her hormones, gets rid of the extra kilos after birth, and prevents cervical cancer. And how deep is that? Exactly 9 months for an avocado to develop from the flower level to the ripe fruit one. There are over 14,000 nutritional phylitic chemical constituents in each of these plants. Modern science has studied and named only 141 of them. The figs are full of seeds and hang 2 by 2 when I grow figs increase the motility of male sperm and increase the number of spermatozoa, so that it treats male sterility. Sweet potatoes look like the pancreas and even balance the glycemic index at diabetics. Olives contribute to the health and good functioning of the ovaries. Grapefruit, oranges, and other citrus fruits look exactly like mammary glands of the woman and contributes to breast health and movement. Lymph to and from the breasts. Onions look like body cells. Today's research proves that onion helps to clean waste from all body cells. Onion causes tears that wash the epithelial layers of the eyes. News in cancer treatment from John Hopkins. 1. We all have cancer cells in our body. These cells do not appear, however, at the standard tests if they are not in the number of billions. When doctors tell patients that there are no more cancer cells in their body after the treatments, it only means that the tests are unable to measure because they are no longer detectable. 2. Cancer cells appear in the body 6 to 10 times during one's life. If In 3. When our immune system is strong, cancer cells are destroyed and thus their multiplication and the formation of tumors is prevented. 4. When cancer is diagnosed, it means that the respective person has it. Multiple nutritional deficiencies. These deficiencies can arise from causes: genetics, environmental pollution, diet and lifestyle. Life wrong. 5. To prevent multiple nutritional deficits, it is necessary to change the diet and take nutritional supplements which will lead to strengthening the system. Immune. 6. Chemotherapy involves poisoning cancer cells with a high growth rate, but in this way the fast-growing healthy cells in the spinal cord, the gastrointestinal tract, etc., and important organs, such as the liver, kidneys, heart, also destroyed, or the lungs may be irreparably damaged. 7. Radiotherapy destroys cancer cells, but at the same time burns, scars and destroys healthy cells, tissues and organs. 8. Chemotherapy and radiotherapy will initially reduce the size of the tumors, but the long-term use of these treatments will not lead to their definitive destruction. 9. When too much toxic waste accumulates in the body, resulting from chemotherapy and radiotherapy, the immune system is either compromised or destroyed and the patient can die from trivial infections and their complications. 10. Chemotherapy and radiation therapy can promote genetic mutations in cancer cells that make them very resistant to treatment and difficult to destroy. Surgical interventions can cause dissemination, i.e. the spreading of cancer cells to other organs, metastases. 11. A very good method of fighting cancer cells is to starve them, that is, to avoid the food they need to multiply. Cancer cells develop with a. Sugar. By eliminating sugar from the diet, one of the most important sources of food for cancer cells. Sugar substitutes. Synthetic sweeteners such as saccharin or other products, NutraSweet, equal, spoonful, etc., are based on aspartame, E951, a chemical. Harmful. A natural substitute for sugar would be honey and molasses, but in moderate quantities. Table salt contains additives, chemicals to have a white color. The alternative would be sea salt. Beef, milk and dairy products. Milk favors the production of mucus in the body, especially in the area the gastrointestinal tract. Cancer is fed by this mucus. Giving up milk and derived products, and the consumption of soy milk. Cancer cells die of hunger. See pH acid. Cancer cells flourish in an acidic environment. A diet predominantly carnivorous induces an acidic pH in the body, and it would be better to consume fish and poultry in small quantities rather than beef or pork. The meat may also contain substances administered to animals, antibiotics, growth hormones and parasites, which are harmful, especially to people with cancer. D. A diet based 80% on fresh vegetables consumed as such or under the form of juice, whole wheat, seeds, nuts and fruits change the pH of the body. In alkaline, 20% of the diet can be from cooked foods, including beans, grains. Fresh vegetable juices provide the necessary enzymes, digestive, easily absorbable, which reach the cellular level in 15 minutes from consumption, and which nourish and favor the growth of healthy cells. It is good to consume fresh juices 2 to 3 times a day. Enzymes are destroyed. The 40 degrees Celsius. E. Avoid coffee, tea and chocolate, which may contain large amounts of caffeine. Green tea is a very good alternative, having properties anti-cancer. The best drink is water, purified or filtered. In order to eliminate toxins or heavy metals, distilled water is acid, so avoid it. 12. Meat proteins are difficult to digest and require a large amount of digestive enzymes. the undigested meat remains inside the intestine, enters into rot, and increases, thus the amount of toxic residues from corp. 13. Cancer cells are covered by a thick wall of proteins. Giving up meat or reducing it in the diet leads to the release of increasing amounts of enzymes. They attack the proteins in the cell wall and thus allow the specialized cells to destroy them. Cancer cells. 14. Some nutritional supplements help strengthen the immune system, such as would-be IP6, inositol or vitamin B9, contained in wheat bran seeds. Nuts. Essiac. Essiac is a herbal formula that has been used since year 1922 by a nurse from Canada named Renee Case for A. Helps patients with serious conditions. The 8 plants in the original recipe are holy thistle, burdock root, laminaria, red clover, elm with bark, smooth, Turkish rhubarb root, watercress, small mackerel, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, water, all stimulating the immunity to fight and destroy cancer cells. Other supplements such as vitamin E produce apoptosis or death. Programmed cells, the body's natural way of getting rid of cells sick, unwanted, and useless. 15. Cancer is a disease of the mind, body, and spirit. Thinking, positivity, and an active nature help those who are fighting their cancer survive. Anger, unforgiveness, and bitterness build an environment stressful and acidic in the body. We must learn to have a loving spirit and forgiver. Let's relax and enjoy life. Greater than 16. Cancer cells cannot develop in the presence of oxygen. Making daily physical exercises and breathing, the oxygen reaches deep at the level cell. Oxygen therapy is very important for destruction. Cancer cells. Careful. 1. Do not insert plastic containers into the microwave oven. 2. Do not freeze water. 3. Do not microwave containers with plastic lids. Dioxin is a substance that causes cancer, especially in the breasts. It is extremely toxic for body cells. Dioxin is released from the plastic of the water bottles placed in the freezer. Recently, Dr. Edward Fujimoto, health program manager at Castle Hospital, spoke in a TV show about the dangers that lurk. Health. He talked about dioxin and the harm it can do. Instead, using glass or ceramic vessels to heat food, the same results are obtained, but without dioxin. The paper is not harmful, but it is not known what else it contains. The teacher recalled that not to be. Heat the food in the microwave oven in plastic containers. It is. We are talking, above all, about food that contains fat. The teacher said that the combination of fat, high temperatures, and plastic releases dioxin in food, which eventually ends up in our cells. He recommended, in many fast food restaurants have give up polyurethane foam containers, using paper. The appearance dioxin was the reason. It was emphasized that it has the same negative effect, covering dishes with plastic lids in order to cook food in them. Microwave oven. It is recommended to use a paper napkin. This is material that should be sent to all who are important in your life.